and volunteers for ETHCC. This has been a really tremendous week. I always look forward to this every year. I'm really excited because I'm going to be speaking about Ubiquity, and this is Blockdaemon's multi-protocol API suite, which we think is some really excellent tooling that should hopefully reduce a lot of the technical debt as people are trying to create their dApps from an institutional and enterprise level, and even to just a developer that's trying to hack. We think that we have something for everyone. So without further ado, let's get into it. That's me. My name is Robbie Krasinski. My Twitter handle is Robbie_K. I'm the lead of developer relations at Blockdaemon. I know that doesn't look like me now, but ETHCC has really worn me down. So on a good day, and when I'm not wearing a hat, I can kind of look like that. But please feel free to reach out to me. You can also reach out to Blockdaemon HQ, their Twitter handle, if you wanted to get in touch with us. And there's a multitude of ways to get in touch with us. So later on, I'll go ahead and I'll share our Discord and also our support for emailing us as well. So let's start to talk about Ubiquity. Right? So it's versatile, it's high performance, it's a multi-protocol API suite for querying blockchain data. And so it allows you to connect to multiple blockchain protocols without you having to manage or operate the nodes. And we think that's really powerful because we're, again, reducing a lot of the friction for developers. So we're doing all the heavy lifting for you. So Ubiquity allows you to query on-chain data easily with the following feature sets, right? So we have our universal API, our native access, our specialized API, and of course, our historical data. So you can really see this is in fact a multi-protocol API suite. So to touch on universal, it's a multi-protocol API that generalizes blockchain data in a unified format. Native access gives you RPC access to on-chain data. Specialized API allows you to extract and estimate specific data, and of course historical data fetch on our universal and native access APIs via custom indexing along with archive and full history nodes respectively. So again, we are quite proud of what we built, and we are continuing to make it faster and continue to optimize the performance and to make it as robust as possible, because we just want to make sure developers have the tools that they need. So why does it exist? Right? Who's it for? It's for businesses, it's for builders, it's for startups, it's for anyone who has requirements to access blockchain data. Ubiquity offers reliable and up-to-date data access, and we make sure if there are changes to blockchain protocols that we're keeping up to date with that. And it's like something that we're quite punctual on, is making sure that we're always tuned in with all of our supported protocols, which is obviously important for a developer. Ubiquity is it's highly scalable to keep up with demand. It's for anyone who's new to Web3 space who wants to harness the benefits of Web3 without needing to go too deep into the tech to fulfill their use case. Again, we're just focusing on that usability. So our nodes allow you to get historical blockchain data quickly and in the shortest time. So you don't need to deploy a node or wait for a node to sync. This came with a considerable amount of tech debt, but pulling it off, I think, is really, really fantastic. But why do we exist, right? How can we promote Web3? Because right now there are users in the space that can scale out features per protocol to be completely decentralized without the use of Ubiquity. So why Ubiquity, right? The kicker is, even though that there are features per protocol that allow you to do this, there is this concept of increased time to value. So if it's taking you longer to achieve what Ubiquity can do, why would you do that opposed to being able to speed your process up as a developer? And so you don't have to worry about diving really deep into any of the tech. And so with the released projects as they currently stand, we just think that we're a more optimal solution. So our model and ethos is to empower anyone curious that has a use case that requires access to blockchain data. And odds are, if you're watching this, you probably need blockchain data. So we are very much trying to build something for you. So we want to develop tooling for developers, and we want to give them runway to explore our tooling. So everyone that's gone ahead and they've signed up, please check your emails. You should have an invitation to gain access. Make sure you check all those folders and take advantage of the free opportunity to explore our tooling. And we really, really want that feedback. So please make sure that you are pushing it to its limits. You are finding all the cases where it makes sense, all the cases where you think there could be improvement, and make sure that you are reaching back to us. You could specifically actually reach out to me on our Discord. I'm also Robbie K on our Discord, which I'll be sharing a link to a little later on, and I'd be happy to report anything back to our engineers. So let's talk about some use cases. We have real-time event streaming. We have native token balances, multi-protocol data primitives, accounts, blocks, TX data, TX construction, broadcasting, staking reports, RPC and native protocol access, gas fee estimations, which is, I think, a hot topic right now, everyone, especially when networks can get pretty jammed up. Gas fee estimations is really important. Archive and full history nodes, and being able to query a considerable amount of information from NFTs as well. So here is an arc diagram. It's really high level, but what we wanted to kind of showcase was nodes running on multiple blockchain protocols, which are scalable and available and performant to ensure that we offer a reliable set of APIs on top of all of that, right? So native access suite is going to give you direct access to blockchain data, whereas specialized and universal APIs are indexed data which you can query. And so we can go ahead and we can see on the right-hand side where specialized is leading to versus universal, native going directly, but they're ultimately all going to segue into each other quite seamlessly. So universal API is an abstraction on top of nodes, which gives you a unified format of protocol queries and a familiar response schema for various supported blockchains. We're going to be showing this off in a demo a little later, but what was so important, we thought, when it came to querying this data was to make sure that it was in a schema that was really digestible, again, to try to reduce that friction of developers who are curious to use this tooling to have to kind of dig around really deep. We just wanted to make it as quick and as simple as possible for developers. Endpoints are RESTful, and of course they follow the Open API specification. We also offer WebSockets and SDKs for TNX broadcasting construction with the universal API, allowing you to build applications with ease. And I underline the word ease because we think that it is quite easy to use, and we're really, really proud of that. So if you look at some of our supported protocols, it ranges from Algorand, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Near, Polkadot, Solana, and more to come and more than that's on this list. So really, really proud of what the team has done. So native access allows you to query on-chain data via RPC with no abstractions. You have access to our Ubiquity nodes. We just do that for you, again, reducing that debt. Native API gives you access to archive and full history nodes for over 10 protocols. And again, you can see that list right there. So auto-scaling and redundant node clusters is something that the native API access offers, and we think that's really, really great. So here's some examples, right? So depending on your use case, you can decide which API feature set meets your needs, or perhaps both of them meet your needs. So for quick reference and the differences, of course, if we're looking up, we can see that native, these are going to be 2 curl commands, the first one being for Bitcoin, the second one being for Ethereum. And then if you are using the universal API endpoints, you can see that those are essentially exactly the same, of course, with the change of Bitcoin on top and Ethereum after that V2 on the bottom. So really, really easy to use both, but you can just see that curl command being so digestible specifically for the universal API endpoint. So both universal and native access allows you to access historical data. And as mentioned here, if anyone's tried to do that, it is historically difficult to get that. It's really notorious. So we really wanted to focus on making that easy. So we have, of course, our custom indexers for selected protocols with our universal, and with our native for selected protocols, archive and full history nodes, again, to reiterate on that point. So specialized API allows you to get gas fee estimations by TNX confirmation speeds on multiple protocols. Yeah, multiple protocols, so pretty cool. Get staking reports for staking rewards and balance changes. We have an NFT API that's currently in beta, but it is going to allow you to query a wide variety of data, and you can actually sign up for that beta if you wanted to explore that yourself. So as you can see, of course, we have a dashboard because this is going to be a really easy way for you to look at your analytics in terms of your consumption and the calls that you're making and your monthly quota, average calls per day. We tried to make this really easy when it comes to the UX. We'll actually see this in the demo change. So take a look at the dashboard, but in just a moment, you'll actually get to see how it works. And that moment is now. So in the demo, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to the Blockdaemon app. We are going to create a key. We are going to have a Swagger demo. If you're familiar with Swagger or not, essentially it's Postman, but it is in browser. So you don't have to install anything. It's quite quick, and I actually really like the tool. We're going to run just a couple of calls, and then we're going to check our usage. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is, of course, going onto the Blockdaemon website, you have the ability to go ahead and sign up or log in. But what we would do is we'd go over to our products, and we're going to go over to our Universal API. And then, of course, here is where we can do a little bit more reading on our Universal API. And so we can go ahead and we're going to try it. Now, I, of course, already have an account, so it's going to go ahead and it's going to sign me in. Perfect. OK, so now what we're going to do is we're going to head down to our Ubiquity API, and we are going to go right away over to our config. So let's go ahead and let's make a new key, and we'll call it ETHCC. OK, so once I create this, of course, it is going to generate my unique Ubiquity key. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this. And what's nice is we verify that you've gone ahead and copy it. On another screen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this over. Forgive me, I'm on 2 monitors, so if I'm a little clunky, bear with me. So I now have my key, and I made sure that I've saved it. Of course, this is going to be private, so you never want to expose any of this information. That's never a good idea. So I'm going to confirm that I've copied my Ubiquity key, and we're going to head over to Connect. And so now what we can do is we can go ahead and we can go over to Swagger tools. So I'm going to switch really quick from my Chrome to Brave. Nothing else has changed, but my Chrome has been acting up for the demo. So what would happen is after you click that Swagger link, it's going to send you right here. So it's going to show you that Ubiquity REST API. You're going to have the ability to check out mainnet, check out testnet, look at all the documentation for native, read quite a bit more about what's going on. But let's go ahead and let's open up protocols. And let's try to, we're going to try it out. And we are going to execute. And we've executed. And we have a 401. And this was intentional, I promise. And the reason it's a 401 is we can see we have an invalid token and we are unauthorized. So how do we get authorization? We're going to go ahead and we're going to go up to authorize. And what it's going to ask me for is that token that I just generated. So I've just gone ahead and I've done a little copy pasta. And we're good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to authorize that. And we can see I am now authorized. Fantastic. So we're going to close out of this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to clear this. And we are going to execute again. And look at that. We've got our 200. And this is going to go ahead and this is going to show us supported networks. It's going to show the handle and it's going to show the network that it supports. And as you can see, there's a considerable amount. All right. So now that we're connected, let's just have a couple of really small examples of some things you could do. So let's just go to, let's say, accounts, right? And if you wanted to, let's say, get, let's say, an account. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll get the balance of an address. And we'll go ahead and we'll use one of my wallets. So this dropdown is going to show you the different protocols that you can fetch from. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Ethereum. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do mainnet. So we should be, oh, I'm sorry. First, I got to try it out. Cool. So once you've selected that, that should autofill these patches for you. And then we are going to go ahead and we're going to put an account address. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to grab my wallet address. And do remember that this is to the 18th decimal. So the number you're about to see is not me having like 3 trillion Ether. So if we look at the response body, we can see that confirmed balance, which is fetching right here, which actually then reads to 0.36 Ethereum on mainnet in the account that I had just provided. So that's one thing you can do, which could be interesting, but not super exciting. So let's do something maybe a little more exciting. And let's go down to our NFTs. And let's go ahead and let's look at assets. So let's see what NFTs are in a wallet. So here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to try it out. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to my example and I'm going to say Ethereum. And I'm going to look at mainnet. And we're going to list assets by wallet address. And I still have my wallet address. And we're going to go ahead and you can see you could do contract address, token ID, collection name. You could sort by the order, page token, attributes, token type. There's a considerable amount of information you can go from. So now what we've done is we've gone ahead and we've successfully called that. And so now if we look at our 200, we can see here's a collection of NFTs that I have in this wallet. So great, and so we can even see the ID, the token ID, the image URL, the name. This is Invisible Friends, the contract address. So then what if we wanted to take that contract address? We can go ahead and grab that. Oh, I got a little extra in there, but we'll take care of that in a second. So we're going to get rid of our wallet address, and we're going to go to our contract address. And I got to get rid of that, and we should be good to go. So this is the contract address for Invisible Friends. Or I suppose we'll find out if it actually is. And it actually is. So if we go ahead and we look, we can actually, if we're scrolling to the top, we can see that token ID starting at 5,000, which I believe was the total mint that they did. And we can scroll down and we could see, of course, that contract address is confirmed across all of them. But you can then look at the ID of them and you can really start to pull a considerable amount of information that you want out of here, be it by the contract address, by wallet address, and then again, you can query based on a plethora of other things if you wanted to explore that deeper. So outside of that, there's blocks, there's identifiers, there's transactions. So let's actually see if we could do a transaction. We'll do a network. We'll do a estimation fee. And so we'll go ahead and we'll click on Ethereum. And we'll click on mainnet, and we should be good to go. And so if we go ahead and we execute, we can go ahead and we can see some estimations for max on a fast, on a medium, and a slow. And of course, remember that decimal place when it comes to those fees. So this is really fantastic, and as you can see, it's querying up really, really quickly. And just to kind of showcase how easy it would be if you were curious to look at accounts from others, let's see if I can remember, for me, if I do Near, which I believe I have a Near wallet, first we got to try it out. And I think, if I remember correctly, I should be able to do robbik.near. And this is on mainnet. And yeah, we can see right there that it is fetching the confirmed balance that I have right here. We can see the confirmed block. We can see it's a 24 for decimal. And yeah, so just like that, really quickly, I was able to fetch information from Ethereum and fetch information from Near. So I could go on in terms of some other things you could do, but I do think you get the point that it's very easy to start to explore the API by using Swagger, and maybe it gives you some ideas in terms of what you'd like to do with it. So that ends the demo, because I believe we've gone ahead and we've covered everything. Yeah, so we've created our Blockdaemon app, we created a key, we did the demo, we ran some calls. Oh, we did not check our usage, but let's go ahead and do that now. So, excuse me. So now if I go to configure, okay, that's good. And I go to my overview. we can go ahead and we can see that we've got a bump up, and I've made some requests today. I've made 16 requests, and we can see the successful requests and actually what those calls were. So we can see that the estimation, we could see the near, we could see the assets, we can see account details, and we can see that these were all successfuls, the timestamps, the networks, and the protocols. So really easy to digest information if you are trying to collect that. So some resources. We have, of course, our documentation, which is going to be ubiquity.docs.blockdaemon.com, client SDKs, our website, and of course the app. And you will find all of this information if you go back to the website itself, and then go to products, and then you can go to the Universal API and kind of fall down that rabbit hole of documentation that we've created. And of course, we have a QR code that's going to link you to the Discord. So really excited for people to join the Discord. It is something that we're building out, but once you go ahead and you join the Discord, you'll be given a role really quickly. And if you scroll on the left-hand side, you'll see hackathons, and you'll see ETHCC Paris. And so if you have any questions in relation to this weekend or in general, well, I suppose for that, specifically this weekend, it would be helpful if you use that channel, so that way myself and some engineers can keep an eye on that. But I just wanted to say, again, everyone that signed up, you should have an email invite using Ubiquity. Please check all your folders. And more than anything, we just want to give developers a free opportunity to check out our API and to build with it. For us to make tooling that is going to be the most beneficial, we need the input from people that are doing that. And so it means so much to us for you to break it, play around with it, do whatever you will with it. Just give us that feedback so we can continue to improve upon it. And I suppose with that, I just wanted to say thank you. And you can contact us at hello@blockdaemon.com. So thank you very much.